Our guest is a British actor who skyrocketed to a global fame, playing one of television's most unforgettable anti-heroes, the dangerously charming Czech bass on Gossip Girl. But I have to tell you that this guy is far more than just Upper East Side's bad boy. He has also brought his talent on a big screen in films like Children of Men, J. Edgar or Chalet Girl, and also took on the leading roles in a more serious, more darker, more complex series like White Gold, where he showed us his comedic timing and also retro swagger. And when he's not acting, he's also a passionate musician, blending his love of storytelling into songwriting and performance. So today we are diving into the craft behind the character, his style on and off screen, and also what it takes to carry that kind of presence. So please join me in giving a huge Comic-Con welcome to one and only Ed Westwick. Hi, Ed, welcome. Yeah, that's you. Have a seat.
Hello, hi.
Hi. So, how are you? How was yesterday? Your first day here at Comic-Con?
Yesterday was a lot of fun. We had many people that we met, and everyone was super nice and good energy, you know. And it's my first time in this country, in Lithuania. Yeah. And everyone's lovely, you know, happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay, so nice. Nice to hear that, yeah. And of course, guys, you will have a chance to ask your questions. And if you do have any, just get in line behind this microphone here, and I will make sure to leave some time for you with your questions, okay? So, Ed, first of all, I would love to congratulate you on a role of a lifetime, I think, becoming a father. So give a round of applause for our new daddy here. Well, not ours, but still. So how this new experience feels? How are you handling this?
It's crazy. It really is. I'm sure some people here have kids, and yeah, it's amazing. It really is. Of course, you feel all the love and everything like that, and this instant bond and everything. But it's a very surreal experience, you know. Yeah. For me, you know, even when I was, you know, a child myself, you always kind of wonder who you're going to marry and who you're going to have kids with, and then what that's going to be like, and then it happens one day, you know. Yeah. There's a new one down there in the corner.
Yeah, we made it special for you. Okay, so you know, you thought that you are always thinking about who you will marry. You know, when I was 15 or 16, I think I always thought that you and me, well, me and Chuck, will meet on the streets of New York, you know. We have this meet cute, lock our eyes, fall in love, got married, live happily ever after on Empire State Building. But, well, here we are. I guess it's okay. Yeah. But, no, on a more serious note, why am I saying this is because I wanted to ask you, how do fans typically react to you? And do they often conflate you with your characters? Maybe not necessarily Chuck, but maybe with others as well.
I think that's inevitable, right? Because so many people have only... Well, they don't know me, yeah. So they haven't had a chance of meeting me. They just see the character, and then they have a relationship with that character. So it's completely understandable, you know. It's almost like, especially a show like Gossip Girl, where there were so many episodes over such a long period of time, and you know, if you were a fan of that show or somebody that watched that show, then you were able to consume and learn so much about that character's life. And that's got to have a funny effect, you know? I don't know if I've ever had that. I've had shows that I've been a fan of and everything like that, but never really kind of, you know, one that went on as much as that. I had that many episodes. So I personally have you know, have loved other characters and thought somebody's cool, and you know, not really cared about the actor, but respected what the actor has done, but loved the character. And it's awesome, you know, but that's what the point is. The point is you're supposed to fall in love with the characters. One of the reasons why you watch a show is because you love the characters, yeah. Right? That's what makes a good show. If they were rubbish characters and not interesting, yeah, what are you going to do? You're going to switch off. So I think what it means is that the writers did a great job, the directors did a great job, the actors did a good job, and overall, everybody working together built something that entertained and was interesting to people.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, so it's a win for all of us. So, and do you have any like surprising or humorous encounters with the fans? I heard something about fans coming to you at the cemetery. Is there? I heard it in one of your interviews, and I was wondering, what are they saying when they come to you in like places such like this?
I don't remember that. Maybe that was one of like a confused story or something.
Okay, yeah.
No, I've never been.
So no places like that.
I've never. I don't know. I haven't really been to a cemetery. So
Okay, because I thought
I don't really hang out in cemeteries that much.
Okay, so because I was thinking, what are they saying to you? You know, just come up to you near someone's graves and tell, hey, please say I'm Czech Bass.
99% of the time, people are very normal and very respectful and polite. You know, 99% of the time. Then you get the odd person who kind of looks at you like you're an animal in the zoo. Mm-hmm. And that's a bit weird and it's a bit rude, but
that's one part of the job.
Exactly,
yeah, okay.
like whatever.
So let's talk about your more recent work. I know that you took on a leading role in a British crime thriller, Dark Game. Yeah. And I was wondering, you know, in a career that spans acting, music, and fashion, how do you decide what kind of projects to take on? You know, do you search a specific energy or vibe?
Yeah, no, I think there's time for everything. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. You know, a movie can take a month and a half to shoot, and you're not doing them all the time, you know? Mm-hmm. So maybe 1 or 2 a year, maybe. I've got a show coming out in September that took 3 months to film, so that was different. It was more episodes, you know? But yeah, so I mean, look, there is time to do other things, and now I have to fit in being a dad as well, which is difficult, you know. But you just got to figure it out, you know. You got to figure it out. But no, I have many interests, you know, definitely, and there's different things. I think the reason why I'm doing the fashion thing is, or going to these events that are fashion related. You know, Gossip Girl was a very fashion orientated show. Yeah. You know, it was a very commercial show, and I think it kind of positioned me in that way. Of course, I've always been interested in style and everything like that. I think most people are, even if they're not conscious about it. You know, it's another form of expression, right? Yeah. So, yeah, you know, I mean, there's time. There's a million things I'd like to do. Unfortunately, I'm not clever enough to do them. I'd love to become a rocket scientist as well, but I don't think I'm good enough at science or math for that.
Mm-hmm. But do you have any dream roles or characters that you would love to play?
Yeah, I mean, I do, but I try not to focus on them because, you know, on one hand, you could say, okay, write your dreams down. Mm-hmm. You could be like that. There's a lot of that kind of, there's a lot of that stuff out there on the internet right
yeah.
now. But then, you know, the flip side of that is I don't like to be too specific because, you know, I don't necessarily, it's not like, oh my God, I have to be James Bond or I have to be this person or something like that. Because I don't really feel that way, honestly. All I hope for is to continue to get opportunities that interest me and that I feel satisfied by, and that doesn't have to be a specific thing, you know. Mm-hmm. There's many things that bring me joy in life, and there are some goals that I have overall for my life. Yeah. But most of all, that's just like normal goals, like everybody else, is to be safe and have things taken care of, and everyone be happy and healthy, you know. And to be honest, you know, it's pretty simple things that can give you that.
Yeah, okay. And let's talk about the fashion more, and of course about the Gossip Girl. Do you have any say in Czech's style, or was it just to give it to you?
No, I am not that cool, unfortunately. No. You know, I'm not. I tried to be, which also is not cool. Eric Damon is a talented person, and he was the costume designer on Gossip Girl. And I remember the very first time I met him, it was a snowy day in, I think it was like January in New York. I'd just arrived and we were about to shoot the first episode of Gossip Girl, and maybe March time, still snowing. But, and I walked into his area that he'd created to do all of our fittings and, you know, dress us. And on the wall, he had all these references and pictures that would supply the inspiration for all of the characters of Gossip Girl. And I just saw all of these iconic images relating to all of the different characters, but for Chuck, you know. And over the years, I saw that wall and reference change, because throughout the history of that show, Chuck Bass's style developed and evolved as well, as it does for all of us in real life, you know? And that's one of the beauties of having a show that went on for so long like that, is that you really got to grow and evolve with the characters. You got to see them really develop in every single way, in their behavior, their relationships, their emotions, their sense of style, their successes and downfalls in life and everything like that. So anyway, Eric was in charge of all of the costumes. Okay. He did an amazing job, and I owe a lot to him. I think we all do.
Yeah, okay. But be honest, tell me, did you like the scarf?
The polka dot scarf?
Yeah.
I did, but I didn't get it. I didn't think it was that great, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, it's the same thing with the I'm Chuck Bass line. I didn't really understand that this was like such a thing, because I didn't really watch the show.
Oh, okay.
So I don't, I didn't see the finished version, so I didn't know like the impact of things. Okay. And then I remember, like, up until like a couple of years ago, people were coming out going, "Can you please say I'm Chuck Bass?" Like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
And so, I didn't really think about it. I didn't think about the scarf like that. I didn't think about that line like that. But it's cool. It's cool. It's funny to hear it from somebody else's point of view. You got to remember, for me, it's very weird, because I was the actor playing the role, and I was just going to work and just doing the scenes. And now it's like this whole other thing where I'm on the receiving end and talking about it, and we're like discussing it, and it's very cool, man.
Okay. And how do you think your style differs from Chuck, or did you have any inspiration from him?
You know what? In the beginning, it was very, very different. Like, I grew up at a time in the UK where it was kind of like, you know, a lot of indie rock and roll stuff. And like, I was into that whole vibe, and skinny jeans, ripped up t-shirts, cigarettes rolled up in the sleeve, like all of that stuff. And then that kind of changed, you know. I think we evolve, we feel a different way. And, I started wearing some suits, and I think it's just, I find it easy to wear a suit, because you don't have to worry about, matching anything up or anything like that. It's like, there's the suit, put it on, job done.
Yeah, it's a classic, so yeah.
Yeah, and also I don't go to like an office job. So for me, it's, a chance to kind of like, okay, I'm putting on something sharp and going out to, a work thing, Okay. It's different. But yeah, no, our styles are very different, but maybe now actually it's kind of, I've probably come a little bit more like that high-end fashion stuff. Not all the time. I mean, I still wear like sweatpants and a hoodie,
I wanted to say that you are naming now, I think, like real world's Blair and Chuck, because on the internet people are saying that, that you found your real life Blair. So, and you go to all these fashion events, and you...
It's cute, but isn't it interesting that people have that kind of a reaction? Like there's almost like two worlds that exist, right? Yeah. There's like entertainment, character land, which is all fake. And then there's real life, but everything's seen through a screen still, like a screen on a phone or whatever. So it's really, it's funny. It's like I'm two people.
Yeah, and it's easy for fans to start confusing things, you know?
But I think you'd have to be really crazy to actually confuse it. I think it's just part of the fun. It's that, it's when you like a character, and you love a character, and you love a story so much, like you want to believe that it's all still going, it's all still real, and it's all good. And as I say, 99% of people get that, and it's all fun, and I love interacting with people. I love taking a picture. I love hearing about their stories around Gossip Girl and some of the other work, like how, I get letters from people all the time. Oh, okay. Some of the stuff of people being in the hospital and they couldn't, they had a bad injury, and they would watch Gossip Girl you know, and it would just kind of help them escape, you know, and like that's a beautiful thing, you know, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not saving lives, I'm not doing something that's really that important, but at the end of the day, you know, if you can provide a little bit of entertainment and escapism for people, especially during a tough time, then that really kind of makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, okay. And of course, I think we have to talk a bit about you and Leighton and your chemistry on the screen. I think we haven't seen such chemistry since you guys. I think you're one of the greatest TV couples of all time.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Yeah, and how did your off-screen Raupa influence your, you know, work on the screen?
I just remember laughing a lot with Leighton. She was very like fun and silly and didn't take herself seriously, and we would giggle so much, you know. We were good friends, and then yeah, it was nice, you know. It was just, she was such a joy and such a talented actor, and that was amazing. I think she helped me to be better.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot of stuff from her, and I remember being in awe of her in some scenes, you know. So it was great. Everybody on that show really did a great job.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, because I also saw that people are saying that 3 of you guys were in love with Leighton during the filming. Is it true?
What's that?
I saw that 3 of you from the cast of Gossip Girl, 3 guys, were in love with Leighton.
Like in real life?
Yeah, during the filming. Is it true, or is it just someone that made that up?
I mean, look, I think when you're, you know, we were all good friends, you know, but no, not like love, like romantic love. I mean, Leighton was, everybody was dating people, you know?
Okay.
So, no, not like that, you know?
Okay, and is there any friendships lasting from the
Well,
show?
it's been a long time, and, you know, everybody kind of goes their separate ways, but I like everybody. Chase I speak to quite sometimes. Kelly Rutherford I've recently been seeing so much of. You know?
In all these fashion events.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
and I'm so happy for her. She's like become this fashion icon in her way, and it's very cool. So Kelly and I get to, you know, see each other a lot at these events and stuff. It's very nice. She's honestly one of the best people you'll ever meet. She's got such a warm soul and gifted actor, and just a very nice person. So all good.
And I know that you and Chase Crawford were living together on the early days of filming. And do you have any memorable stories from that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we used to throw these fantastic parties on the top of our building. And we were like, you know, we were young, right?
Yeah.
So I remember just having crazy parties, great times, and the sun coming up over the skyline of Manhattan, and just living life, you know?
Okay. And I imagine it must be like easier to have someone your age experiencing the same thing, you know, the fame.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so for me, when I got the job on Gossip Girl, I was 18 and I lived with my parents, you know, in UK. And then I got the call and they said, look, you got to move to New York to do this show. And I was like, oh, all right, let's go.
Let's see where that takes.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know? And so Chase, who I'd met whilst we were filming the pilot, which is the first episode, because back then what you used to do is you used to film the first episode, then they would see if they liked it and wanted to make the whole series. So we shot the pilot, went home, waited for the call.
Yeah.
And Chase had said to me, hey, if this gets picked up, let's get a place together. And I was like, cool, okay, because I never lived on my own, and it sounded a little bit, you know, daunting and all of that. And it was nice to kind of have somebody, he's a couple of years older than me, so it was a little bit like, you know, sort of like Big Brother-ish type thing. It was cool. And he'd been living out in LA kind of for a few years by himself with friends, whatever. So he knew how to get the internet set up and the TV set up and
washing machine and stuff.
He knew all about that. Yeah. I didn't know anything about that. So we did all of that together, and it was great to, you know, go through that with somebody. You know, it's cool.
Yeah, because I think some of the young teenage stars usually are left alone with deal with this, I think it's fair to say, madness that comes with such fame.
So many people go absolutely crazy.
Yeah. How did you handle that? It was like, did there ever fame went to your head? Or,
yeah, absolutely. Of course it does, you know. I mean, it's going to happen, you know. But things happen and you have family members around you or friends you grew up with who will remind you, like, why are you acting like a dick? You know?
Don't forget who you are.
Yeah, it's all good. But look, you need that. But you need that throughout life. Whether or not it's acting, whether or not it's business or whatever it is, you know, if you become successful in something, there's going to be a moment where your ego takes over. You know, it's just in the entertainment business, it's probably a lot more easy for that. But, you know, I think that's also one of the things that gives you the confidence to go out in those businesses or those industries and make your mark, you know, because, look, there's so much of my life has been about being told no. There's so much, even now. It's such a competitive business. I get told no. I do an audition still. No. That is the majority of my whole professional life, is being told no. You guys only see the ones that worked. There's all of the stuff that didn't work. And each time you get told no, it's crushing because you want something and you tried to get it and it didn't work out. And every time you're told no, it's like, it crushes you a little bit. But you have to find this resilience in you and you have to find this thing that makes you want to let go of that and get up and go again. Now, it might be madness because, to be honest, it's like getting beaten up again and again and again and again. And like, what's the definition of insanity? It's trying the same thing over and over again, hoping for a different outcome.
Yeah, but the end result is often, you know, amazing, so.
Well, we hope so, you know. I don't know. I mean, it's, again, like, I'm sure there will be something in the next couple of weeks that I want to try out for, I want to audition for, a big movie or whatever. And I might get told yes, I might get told no, but then you have to pick it up and you have to kind of do everything else. That's why when you asked me at the beginning about being kind of set on certain things, I'm like, I mean, I don't know if that's the way to be because you can set yourself up for such disappointment, you know? I feel like you just need to know that a vague idea of where you want to go in life. At least that works for me, you know, and so far so good.
Yeah, and you always have these other projects you can focus on. Let's not forget you're a musician as well. You have a band called For You, right? And in 2023, you released 2 songs, I think.
We put an album out, actually.
Oh, you did?
At the start of this year.
Okay.
Yeah, we put an album out this year. But I mean, for me, that's just like another kind of creative outlet and expression. The guys that I met who are in the band are incredibly gifted musicians. They have worked their whole lives to do that. But we met very randomly. I was living in LA. I was renting a house out there. This is a few years ago. And just through a friend of a friend, I met one of them. And then the other guys, they all went to school together. They went to Berkeley Music School together. So, and then we slowly started writing music together. And then we played some shows. And then we're going to play a show in Chicago in July as well, which will be cool. And yeah, it's one of those things. But it's not something like I'm trying to scream to everybody like now I'm a, you know, singer, I'm in a band, I'm doing that. It's just another thing, you know.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask how do you prioritize things, you know, between fashion, acting, and music?
You just do things when you can, you know. Like
there's no number one for you, or is it acting?
I think the acting is number one. Family's number one, obviously.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But like I think the acting thing is number one, but you know, the acting thing is probably the most difficult, unpredictable, because it's so expensive to make a film, it's so expensive to make a show. There's so many different things involved, and when it comes together and it's the right thing, great. But like if you're on the job and say you did the job just for the money or you did it for whatever reason, it can also be like the most annoying thing to do, you know, because if you don't like it and you're not really into it, it's because you can't just like fake it, you know, you have to, you know, you can't just show up and like hide and just,
yeah, you have to
no, you got a camera in your face
yeah.
and you got to give a performance, you know. So yeah, it can be a good thing or a bad thing. You need to be careful.
And also you had a band called Filthy Youth.
When I was a kid, I was like 18.
And a few songs were included in the Gossip Girl show.
That's right.
So
that was
how
really...
does that feel, being the main character and, knowing that people all around the world are listening to your music?
Well, it was a long time ago, but it was a fun thing. And that one was special because that band was with my friends that I had from my small town that I grew up with. And, we got to share that experience together. That was before Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
And then at the very start of Gossip Girl, we did a couple of gigs in New York, and the guys, who made the show, they liked it, and they wanted to put some of the music in. So that was nice,
Yeah.
It was nice.
You must felt nice, yeah. So, and you've been a part of a huge cultural moment with Gossip Girl. And is there any moment in a pop culture, or maybe a historical event or viral moment that you would love to be a part of?
I don't know. That's you mean like
I think for me, for example, I would love to, be a part of Marilyn Monroe moment when she did the thing on a windy subway with her white dress. I think it's one of the most iconic pictures of 20th century.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything in your mind, or are you just happy as you are?
No, like I would have loved to have been at like a Muhammad Ali fight, against like George Foreman or something like that. That would have been epic, right? One of those iconic boxing matches I would have liked to have been at. That would have been good.
So, and I have a few questions, just quick ones, and you just say whatever comes to your mind, the first answer that you are thinking of, okay? So, what's one fashion item you can't live without?
Good shoes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's one line from Chuck Bass the fans quote to you the most?
I'm Chuck Bass.
Do they say that to you?
That's the one.
I just thought that they asking you to say it, but they say...
Yeah, they said, well, they asked me to say it. What the ones they said, they always ask me to say it.
Okay, so that's the same. Okay. And do you have any fashion faux pas you like to confess?
But I don't want to say it in case somebody's wearing them here, I don't want to be...
Okay, no, just say it. It's
cut off denim shorts. I don't like them.
Okay.
Yeah,
because in Lithuania we don't love men wearing socks with their sandals. I don't know why, but
it's a sign of indecision.
And if you could reprise your role in a reboot, where would Chuck Bass be today?
I actually asked ChatGPT that.
Oh, okay. And what did they say?
I think ChatGPT came up with a pretty good storyline, but it was the same thing, dominating business, plotting scams and schemes.
All the drama.
All the drama, I mean, but that's it,
Yeah. Did you watch the revival of On a Gossip Girl?
No, I did not, no.
Because I wanted to ask, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I didn't watch it.
Okay. You can't repeat, something that was magnificent.
It was a bit of a, I mean, look, I know some of the people who were involved, and they're good people.
Which episode or scene was the most challenging to film for you?
The funeral scene when Bart Bass, Chuck's dad, had apparently died, but wasn't dead.
Spoiler alert.
Because at that point in my career, I hadn't really done anything like that. And I didn't have a reference emotionally to do that. Now, later in life, I actually went through that, really. And so now, like, if you were asked me to go through that for a character, I know exactly what that's like, but at that point in my life, I hadn't really lost anybody close to me.
Okay.
So I was kind of making it up, and I just thought, let's just go all the way, and then if they need to direct me to do something differently, then I can. But I remember feeling a little bit overwhelmed by that.
Okay. And if you could bring any Gossip Girl co-star in the world of Dark Game, who would it be? And who do you think survived the longest?
Oh, man. I mean, into Dark Game, I think I think you'd have to have Blair in there. She'd be funny and she'd find a way to survive. You know?
And do you follow the Blake Lively drama or anything? Do we need to cancel her or no? What do you think?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've heard a bit about it, but you know, I don't know anything.
Yeah, okay, you can no, don't need to answer that. And I have a little game because I see the people don't have any questions, or maybe they are too shy to ask ones.
Don't be shy, guys. Now's your time.
Yeah, just go for it.
We're all friends here.
Yeah, so you can.
Hello.
Hello.
Which role has been the most rewarding for you outside of Gossip Girl?
Yeah, thank you for that. I think it's so many, but I really enjoyed doing White Gold because it was comedy, and you know, after doing so many years on Gossip Girl, which had a little bit of comedy in there, I guess, but it was a drama, really. You know, just working with comedians like on that show, White Gold, I really enjoyed it. And then also because like Gossip Girl was so loved mainly by females. Thank you for that. White Gold was liked by guys. So as a guy, it was kind of nice to, you know, have some guy fans as well. So that was cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Ed.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
I went to New York a couple of times.
Okay.
I tagged you, and you didn't reply to me once.
Oh, shit.
What's up with that, man?
My phone was stolen, you know?
I get it. All jokes on aside, we can take a selfie later. All is forgiven.
Thank you so much.
My question to you is, well, you said that Gossip Girl is really fashionable show when it comes to wardrobe department, and maybe it's a similar question to Laura's, but I want to know, on season 1, you had some questionable outfits, but later on...
Like the basketball outfit?
Exactly.
So bad.
But later on, you looked really sharp and well-tailored.
Yeah.
I want to know, how did that show impact your personal style or even your approach to fashion? Maybe it was living in New York also that add up.
Well, here's the thing, right? Is you got to remember, like I was 19, pretty much. Yeah, so we shot the pilot. I was 18. Now, so I don't know how old some of you are in this room, but maybe there's some of you who are 18. Maybe there's some of you 20. Do you remember how you were when you were 18? Like, you would try things, and like fail miserably, but at the time you thought you were being cool, right? Now, I was doing that, but everything was in the public light. And now, the costumes were chosen by Eric, as I said, and most of the time he got it right. I think the basketball outfit was probably the worst outfit ever. But then again, some people, especially Americans, think that that outfit was cool. So I grew up in the UK, and I think all basketball outfits are terrible, you know? I just think it's, you know, yeah. So I don't like basketball, really. So, but look, I think, you know, I was completely different. Like, he was doing his thing, and then as I said at the start, like, I was more of like into my rock and roll-y vibe, like leather jackets and stuff. And then you change, you know, and, you know, I like to wear things that are a little bit, you know, different now, you know, which weirdly could probably be seen as being closer to Chuck in the later seasons. So, you know, I think one of the things, though, that that show tried to do was have kind of more timeless looks, you know? So eventually, I think that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I mean, sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't, obviously. But look, if I'm at home, I'll probably be wearing pajamas right now, so, you know.
I appreciate your answer. And what about that selfie now?
I'm sure we can do it in a bit, yeah. Definitely.
I'll wait after the show.
Yeah, no worries. We're going to be doing pictures straight after this.
I know what you're doing. It's ripping people off.
I'm ripping people off?
No, not you. The Comic-Con. The parking is also expensive. I don't get
well,
it.
I am not in charge.
2 years of chasing.
I am not in charge of
I think we will
that.
all have a
Just for
chance to.
I'm not in charge of that. I'd love to take a picture with you.
Thank you.
Come get me. All right?
Thank you so much.
All right, my
Appreciate it.
pleasure.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Hi.
Hey.
I wanted to ask, did you ever expect that Gossip Girl to become such a big cultural moment?
No, I didn't. And it blows my mind that we're here talking about it now. It's incredible to have been part of something that has such an impact like this and a legacy. You know, when you're an actor at any point, you're just kind of looking for the next job, right? you love doing it, trying to make a living, whatever. But in the beginning, you know, I knew that this was from a set of books that were already somewhat popular. And then the people behind the show had done the OC. So we were like, okay, they know how to make a show. They know how to make something that's good and liked. And, you know, Blake obviously had a following from Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And there were like some elements, you know? Me, I'd not done anything really. And then, nor had the other guys, I think. And so they threw together this group of people and these great writers, and it was New York, and they put money behind the marketing, and you know what? It was just one of those shows, and it blew up, and I never thought it would be like that. And then, you know, season 2, season 3, and you're like, there's people on the streets in New York watching us do our scenes and stuff, and you're like, whoa, okay, cool. And then look, the show finishes, and honestly, I expected it to maybe be talked about for a little bit, and it just kept going. And then Netflix happened and it lived again, you know? So it's a weird situation where it wasn't just the show, it was timing, you know? And then COVID, like how bad it was. But do you know how many people say to me that they rewatched Gossip Girl during COVID? It's like, you know, so you have this crazy situation that meant that people went back into like binging certain shows and stuff like that. And then that kind of rebirthed it again. So the world is a crazy place. You never know which kind of twists and turns life is going to take, or like a piece of work or something. I remember hearing this story about Beethoven, right? And the work that he thought was going to be a hit was never a hit. And then like his work that he thought was absolute trash became his biggest hit. Like you can't predict certain things. And also when you're giving it to people and you're giving it to an audience, I don't know how your guys are going to react. Like I'm working on a show right now that I'm producing that is an original idea by me. And I'm doing it because I want to give something back to the fans. And the reason, what I mean by that is on social media, and there'll be so much people talking about Gossip Girl and talking about Chuck Bass and I loved you in that character and blah, 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 that I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can, maybe I can create a show that would interest all of these people. Again, you know, it's not Gossip Girl, but maybe it could be better than Gossip Girl. I don't know. It's big shoes to fill, but we all like a challenge, right? So I'm currently working on a show right now that, you know, is inspired by Gossip Girl, is inspired by Chuck Bass, but is a new thing. And I really hope that I get the opportunity to make it and to, you know, maybe in 10 years, we'll be sitting here talking about that show. You never know.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, so I asked
Hello.
you a question already yesterday, but I came up with a new one. So what's your favorite character from Gossip Girl and why? But you can't say Chuck Bass.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, am I allowed 2? Can I have 2 characters? So I loved Leighton's character. I loved Blair. I thought Blair was so funny. Because look, the storylines could be so dramatic, so over the top, like a little bit unrealistic. But how do you still keep the audience involved? You have to do it with a little bit of comedy, you know, you have to. Yeah. And I think she was so good at that, and that Blair character was so good at that. And then also just for shits and giggles, I loved Dorota, you know, so funny. So look, I think they are honestly my favorites.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Hello.
Hey.
I was curious, is there a certain question or maybe a topic that you wish people at these things would cover more often or ever? Maybe something that really matters to you, and would you mind sharing your answer to it?
I mean, honestly, I just feel like I was glad 2 seconds ago to talk about the project that I'm working on, because I think we live in this day and age with social media where we can all somewhat be connected, you know? And I think it's very important, because what I'm doing is I'm looking online there and I'm like, okay, what are these people like? Why are they still following me after all these years? What are we still doing? What can I do? Because like, it's one thing me going to an event and taking a picture. It's like, nobody really cares about that, like I'm sure. But like maybe if I can put together a show that gives people entertainment, and for the audience who grew up with me on Gossip Girl, who love that type of thing, the soap opera, the glitz, the glamour, the elevated thing, all of that, like, surely they would still be wanting like another show, just like a little bit tailored towards them now in life. So I'm just glad that, honestly, I kind of get the opportunity to talk about what's coming up and to let you know that I'm trying to do something that keeps us all together, because really that's what I think the whole point of it is that why am I an actor? It's like, all right, yeah, I'm okay at it. It's like maybe the only thing I'm actually half decent at. And so maybe I'm just gonna try giving back to you guys. And I mean that sincerely. I hope this isn't coming across as like some bullshit that like I'm saying, because it's not bullshit. Like, honestly, like that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Okay, that's very nice. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello, Ed.
Hey.
So I have a question. What are your ambitions and goals for the future?
Well, I'm trying to be a good dad, trying to figure out what that's going to be like. Try to be at home as much as possible, but at the same time provide for my family. So figuring that out, you know, that's going to be a crazy journey, I'm sure. Try to be there for, you know, my other family members, obviously. And then try to stay healthy, and I mean that physically and mentally, you know. I think life is a crazy thing, throws a lot of stuff at you. I am a work in progress. Just when I think I've got it all figured out, something will happen that reminds me that I haven't. So, yeah, just trying to be humble in that regard. But when things do happen, you know, you figure out the solution. So my goals are to, I guess, take care of myself and others. But then in terms of work, look, I've already spoken about the thing I just spoke about. So hopefully I'm able to make that show. I've got another show coming out in September, October called Sandokan, which is a big kind of family show that's like pirates and the British Empire. It's set in 1800s, and it's going to be like Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, I don't know, man, I'm not that complicated. I'm not like, you know, some crazy person with some crazy ideas. I just want to have fun as well, I guess.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you, Ed. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I hope you will have your show when we get a chance to see it. And
Yeah, for sure. We'll come and do a premiere in Lithuania, huh?
Yeah, you should. Have you?
All right.
Okay.
So that's what I want to see on social media. I want to see everybody talking about the show. When's your show coming? When's your show coming?
Okay,
You know?
we will
That's
do.
what that's what I need.
Thank you very much.
Guys, thanks for your time.
Thank you.